I attended ALEX HORMOZI's mastermind. 2 days with Alex and Layla and their team where I learned invaluable lessons that I'll reveal in this video. But most importantly, guys, I'll reveal how to make an exit worth tens of millions of dollars with your business, because this is just a small part of what we learned in this mastermind, and in the coming days, other videos will come out with other invaluable lessons. Think that Alex's team said that if I worked on these elements, the same ones I'm about to reveal to you now, in the next 5 years, I could make an exit of $50 million, guys. And I'm about to reveal everything for free in this video so that you don't have to go to Las Vegas like I did and take 20 hours of flight, because I'll tell you everything here. For those who don't know me, I'm Raf Iervolino, founder of MillionCopy, a leading company in Italy and among the best in Europe in launching and growing info businesses. We've launched dozens and dozens of businesses from zero to millions of euros per year. First lesson, look at your company as if you were a CEO, as if you were a value investor. What does this mean, guys? This thing, for those not familiar with value investing, is the philosophy that made Warren Buffett and his partner, Charlie Munger, famous. What does it mean, guys? It means allocating our resources intelligently on certain factors so that the value of our company can shoot up as soon as possible. Because a CEO, guys, what does a CEO do? A CEO allocates resources intelligently. This was one of the most important lessons. It means understanding what the real problem is, what the real limit is that prevents our company from growing and allocating all our resources, so that limit is dissolved as soon as possible. So the first thing we need to do is allocate resources correctly. And how do we figure out where to allocate resources? We simply need to understand what are the elements that are currently preventing me from growing. In other words, are not enough leads coming into the company. This means I need to allocate resources to the company's front end, the customer acquisition part. Am I not closing enough leads? I get a flood of leads but can't close many. This means I need to allocate resources to the sales team, to hiring new people, training new people, and we'll also get to how to hire the right people. So first rule, think like a CEO and allocate your resources in the correct way. Second important lesson, you must know the metrics that add value to your company. What does this mean, guys? That within the business, there are key metrics that tell us the health status of our business, tell us what we need to improve, what we need to work on, and these metrics are what make a company sellable. If you guys work on these metrics that I'm about to reveal now, you can make an exit that's also very, very significant for your company. What are these metrics? First metric, revenue, the most important. How much money comes into the company, how much at the end of the year our company invoices, and simply this metric is calculated with the units sold times the price of each unit. Second important metric, revenue growth. What does it mean? The increase in sales over time. That is, do our sales increase over time? In the first quarter of this year, did we make more money compared to the first quarter of last year? Third metric, guys, EBITDA. Now, without going into the issue of depreciation and so on, to explain it in a really, really simple way, we can define it as money that remains in your pocket before reinvesting it. Then if you want a definition that goes more into specifics, you can go on Google and find all the details you need. Fourth rule, guys, this for me is the most important of all, the net margin, or how much money remains in your company, how much money you put in your pocket after paying taxes, after paying employees, costs, services, everything that remains after you've delivered your product and service. Guys, this is the metric that determines how much your business is worth. If your business invoices 100 million per year and you put in your pocket 1 million in net margin, let's say things aren't going well, and trust me that there are so many realities, especially in Italy, that have multi-million turnovers, tens of millions, and the net margin, unfortunately, is what it is. Fifth fundamental rule, guys, revenue retention. How many customers continue to buy after the first purchase? If your customer buys only once and doesn't buy again during the course of life, it means that we need to improve this metric, because the companies that are worth more, the companies that make those multi-million, if not billion-dollar exits, are recurring companies where customers buy and continue to buy their products and services. Think simply of Apple. Then you buy the Mac, then you buy the iPad. An Apple customer spends a ton of money, and this is what we want in our business, for the customer to continue to repurchase. Obviously, how do we simply ensure that this metric is high over time? By having an excellent product and service. Remember, guys, the rule to succeed in business is to have an excellent product or service. This allows you to make an incredible offer, to be able to offer a great guarantee, and so on. Last metric, guys, but not by importance, the ratio between lifetime value and customer acquisition cost. What does this mean, guys? That the ratio between how much you pay for a customer and how much money they give you during their relationship, their life with you. I'll give you an example. If you pay $1,000 for a customer and this customer gives you $10,000 during their lifetime, okay, their lifetime value, how much money does this customer give during their lifetime, means that this ratio is 10 to 1. If instead you pay $1,000 for a customer and this customer gives you $100,000, you have a ratio of 100 to 1. And guys, Alex gave us many examples of companies that have ratios of even 7 to 1, 10 to 1. I mean, do you realize what this means, guys? You pay $1,000 for a customer and that customer yields $100,000 in value. And these are the companies, guys, that make those frightening exits. Companies where there's a huge disproportion between the money you pay to acquire the customer and the money they give you during their lifetime. Third fundamental lesson, guys, to take to increase the value of your company, you must reduce business risks to the maximum. What are these business risks, guys? They're the so-called risks that make the company worth little and that drive away potential investors or potential buyers of your company. And they're also those factors that, regardless of whether you want to sell the company or not, need to be fixed. What are these business risks? There are 5. The first risk is the key man risk. What does this mean, guys? This thing, in many Italian companies, even with my clients, I've often seen this situation, namely having a single person, a single employee, a single collaborator within your company who, if tomorrow leaves, if they leave your company, the company collapses. If you're in this situation, if you have 1 or 2 key employees, this thing absolutely needs to be resolved, because no one will buy your company if the whole operation depends on just one person. And if tomorrow that person, I'm not saying wants to leave, but gets sick, if tomorrow that person decides to change their life, wants to change jobs, what do you do? So first thing, how do you solve this risk, guys? By creating procedures and systematizing every single aspect of our company. Guys, what's the best company in the world that does this? Among the best, McDonald's. McDonald's, guys, has created a system where you can hire anyone without skills, without any background, without anything at all. Simply by learning their procedures, you're able to work within their company, guys. And that's why so many people want to open a McDonald's store in franchise, because so many people want to open their own McDonald's simply because the company gives you processes that allow you to systematize every single task within your company so that it's easy to hire people and it's easy to make the company work. And that's why McDonald's can afford to have such high fees if you want to have one of their franchises, simply because the process and system they teach you is invaluable. Second business risk, guys, the key client risk. That is, if in your company there are 1 or 2 clients who taken individually or collectively bring you 20% or more of your turnover, guys, you're at risk, because guys, if one of these clients leaves or a problem occurs with one of these clients, you lose more than 20% of the turnover of your company. And this makes your company unsellable and, above all, puts it really at risk. Third risk element, guys, and this applies only to companies that already invoice 1 million euros and up. So if your company hasn't yet reached at least $1 million in EBITDA per year, it's not for you. I sincerely consider this risk factor even for companies that invoice less, even to 500,000, namely the risk of a single channel. What does this mean, guys? That if all your business depends on Facebook ads, and tomorrow they ban your business manager, ban your account, and your business closes up shop. If all your business depends on a single customer acquisition channel, you're at risk, because if that single customer acquisition channel no longer works for one reason or another, your company is finished. So guys, never depend on a single customer acquisition channel. Unfortunately, this happens continuously in many companies. I've seen hundreds of companies that have this problem. Fourth risk, guys, the market risk. That is, the market in which you are currently operating is a market in growth, a market in decline. I'll give you an example, guys. If you're selling a service that is aimed at, I don't know, those who sell newspapers, know that you're at risk, because every year fewer and fewer newspapers are sold. So guys, your business probably won't have a long life, okay? So the market risk means, is your market currently growing only because there's a trend around this market, or is it a market that actually has a healthy growth? I'll give you an example, guys. We all remember the years when that nonsense, the fidget spinner, was in fashion, right? That kind of toy that spun. Well, if you in those years were selling that type of product, okay, it was obvious that it was a growing market, but the growth was caused only by a trend, by a temporary trend. So it was not a healthy growth, and sooner or later your business would have failed. And therefore, is your market growing or declining? And if growing, is it a healthy growth, or is it a growth that depends only on a trend? Oh guys, fundamental business risk is the data risk. That is how you track data within your company. Alex and Leila say, do you have the so-called Excel empire? What does it mean? It means that many Italian companies, guys, you entrepreneur who is watching this video, I know very well that you at this moment are in this situation. You collect all the data of your company on an infinite pile of Excel files. Guys, if you're in this situation, know that your company is unsellable. No one will ever buy a company that stands on an empire of Excel files. You need, guys, a CRM. You need to get a CRM because the CRM, first of all, allows you to be more organized, but above all, it allows you to make the company sellable. It allows you to give value to your company. Know that if you guys have all the points I told you before in order, but you don't track the data well, your company is worth 0. If you don't fix this point, no one will ever buy your company. They won't even be able to actually evaluate the data to be able to understand if your company has value or not, what kind of value your company has. These guys are just some of the main lessons from the mastermind, because guys, in the coming days, bomb videos will come out. Why am I doing this? Because as I've always said, I want as many people as possible to make tons of money with this channel. That's the reason. So subscribe to the channel and see you in the next video. Bye.